All right, welcome back to LearnWire. We're going to be looking at a brand new feature that was just released in SEOwriting.ai. We're inside the dashboard right here, and the most popular tools that we've been using now since the tool came out is one-click blog post and bulk article generation. In this case, they just came out with a brand new feature called Super Page. You can clone SERP winners in seconds. Your CTA or call to action lands where conversions peak. So it's a special tool that is going to create really good aesthetically designed pages with really good call to action buttons. We're going to test a couple of different posts. One will be more like a LearnWire type post where we're doing a review. I've already prepped the prompts that we're going to use, and then we're going to use what I think this super page is probably more designed for, which is local SEO, but we'll try both and see if it can work for both. So we're going to click on super page right here and get started. I'm just going to go with United States on this first prompt because this first prompt is going to be a LearnWire type post. Let me paste this in here real quick. Let's copy that and paste over into here, and we can take a look at the prompt that I have created. What I have learned is that you do want to be somewhat concise in your prompting. The more elaborate you get, the more likely that the tool might miss one of your statements in your prompt. This is pretty simple right here. So I said, create a super page, and the focus keyword is SEMrush review. Create a pricing table of current pricing for SEMrush. Go over the most common customers for SEMrush, who uses the tool the most, and then go over the main features, pros and cons, and then add a few call to actions to sign up to SEMrush today and use my discount coupon code. And let's just say XYZ44563. People can copy that coupon code, click on the button and go over and purchase, and they will have that coupon code right there. So we're going to leave United States, but this is LearnWire. Everything is built in the background. They made it extremely easy. And in some cases, I really, really like this. There isn't 1,000 settings for us to go and before even creating our article, be somewhat overwhelmed because of the hundreds of different options that we have to choose. Over here, there's literally 2 options to choose. We're going to click on this, and we have one brand voice in here. It's my LearnWire voice, so we may as well use it. I'm just going to say go. SEOwriting.ai is going to create our super page for us. Right here, you can see the status bar. It's just turning right there. It doesn't do anything else. It's not showing us the process of writing, and there's no big status bar or anything like that. The wheels are just turning, and we'll be back in just a second. Okay, so let's see. Now it kicks it over into our other page. It took about 20 seconds for it to register. You can see the status right here at 5% for our SEMrush review. We will come back in just a minute and I'll time this. One thing that I like is that it seems to be, without having to push the refresh button, we're at 10% status right here. It just changed from 5 to 10. It seems to be changing its status live right in front of us. I'm going to keep it rolling right here. When it changes to 15 or 20%, you'll see that it just does it automatically, which I believe that's an update in the system. If I can remember correctly, we used to have to push the refresh tool to see where our article is currently at. We have the timer going. You can see up there, we're at 45 seconds right over here. So while this is creating our article, I may as well speed through and create the other article. That's the beauty behind SEO writing. In the background, we can click on the home dashboard button. We can also come back over here, click on docs, and we can see our docs. Okay, so it's under docs. This is going to be what has already been created, but if something's still in process, you'll see this little circle over here. There's still an article being created, so you can go click on builder and it'll tell you we're still at 10%. While we're waiting, we may as well go create another article, which I think is pretty cool. You can start with your next process, so you don't have to just sit there and wait. So we're going to click on super page again. In this case, we're going to actually target something. I'm going to copy this other prompt over here. This is going to be more for a local SEO type thing. Even more specifically, if you were going for plumber in XYZ or electrician or, something like that, very specific businesses in a specific location. I believe that's where this tool shines. This one is still kind of local because we're really talking about something specific. So we're going to go with this. Create a super page, and the focus keyword is best barbecue restaurants in Austin, Texas. Do a top 10 barbecue restaurants, rank them from 10 to 1 like a countdown, and number 1 being the highest rated and most recommended. Do 4 call to actions to check out Austin's best places to visit. Let's say you have another post on your site and you make money on your website from advertising, right? So you just want to keep people on your website as long as possible. You're trying to get them to stay on your website, which would be a great strategy as well. We're going to click in here and type in Austin, Texas. So we're very specific on what we need to research. We're telling the AI and the system that this is exactly where we are creating the content. I'm going to leave this one alone. We don't need to be in LearnWire Voice this time. And let's go and push go. This one's going to run right now. I would probably wait until this at least registers and goes into the next page to the 5% type area before clicking off this. While you're right here, I don't feel like I would go and click off that. I would wait till we get right here. Now our SERP review is already complete. So we'll go push that stop button, and it took about 5 minutes. It might have finished like 30 seconds ago or something like that, but it's going to take 4 to 5 minutes to create your post with your super page. It's nice that we were able to come back and this one is done. You're going to be more efficient by creating your other article, come back, and then your other one is done. One thing is it didn't go like 20, 30, 40, 50%. It got stuck at 10% for 3 minutes and then it was just done. So that's just maybe the status part, this 5% thing. It's really a lot more further along than 5 or 10% because we know that it went from 10% to 100% very, very quickly. Not really a big deal. Just know it's going to take about 4 minutes to create your article. Now let's go back over to SEMrush review. We're going to click on this. This is stuff you're going to learn about the different tools. This one says 2023. So we're going to need to change this to 2025. We're also going to need to come in here and just do a control find and do 2023 and see if there's anywhere else on the article that it says that. There isn't. So I need to put that back in there, 2025. Okay, so we're looking good there. Let's go and take a look at our page. So right off the bat, we have a 69 score, almost a 70, which is tipping right into the green right there, which is great. We have a 2,700 word article, 64 paragraphs, 11 images. Now I'm not expecting much from the images. Okay, so we're going to have to definitely be careful with that. And then here's all of our terms and some of the optimizations, already a lot in green as well. Let's just take a look at the kind of content we got. SEMrush review, is this SEO powerhouse worth your investment in 2025? Finding the right SEO tool can feel like searching for a needle in a digital haystack. I don't know if I would start off my article like that. It's trying to be creative and stuff, but really we just want to jump right into the point. But after testing dozens of options and using SEMrush daily for over 3 years, so obviously you want to vet this stuff. Like if you care about your blog and you want it to be very real and honest. If you've been using this for 5 years, change that to 5. If you've only been using it for 1 year, change it to 1. Be specific. AI is getting us 90% there. We just need to edit our article and make sure that it sounds right. I do like that it's in LearnWire Voice and it is in first person. I put together this comprehensive review to help you decide if it's the right fit for your needs. I'll break down its key features, analyze current pricing plans, and share honest insights about who benefits from this powerful platform. Plus, I'm sharing an exclusive discount code that can save you 20% on your subscription. Yeah, so if this is 30%, change this to 30%. We did not tell AI what percentage off the coupon offers, so it just kind of went with a standard. But let's stick with the 20%, which is pretty common. 10 or 15% is usually more common, but we'll roll with that. So all these shadings and boxes, that's where Super Pages shines. It's going to create a very aesthetic appeal. This would be great for home pages and so forth as well. But we're going to get to how we're going to actually be able to copy this and paste it into our WordPress site or other website, because it's going to hard code this into page specific HTML code. So in order to if we just copy this and paste it into WordPress, it's going to adopt our theme, right? Our WordPress theme is going to basically take over and say, oh no, wait, this is how we write code when we paste text and so forth in. So it's not going to accept all that. We're going to have to do something else. I'm going to try and test it out and see if we can just paste this in as HTML code, and it might take care of that. Now, we have SEMrush review, the quick verdict. SEMrush stands out as one of the most comprehensive SEO and digital marketing platforms available today, and that is true. It is definitely top 2. Ahrefs and SEMrush are the kings, with robust keyword research capabilities, in-depth competitor analysis tools, and an excellent site for audit. It's very good and well known for local SEO. It actually stands out even above Ahrefs. So if local SEO is the tool, you probably want to go with SEMrush. So knowing the tools myself, we should have put that in our review, but that's okay. So we have this button over here. It doesn't have a link, so you can actually come in here and edit this link. You could put your link to your site and enter your affiliate code right there. So let's just say we go in and I go to SEMrush. Right here, I have an affiliate link, so we would just go and copy it. We would come in, click on this button, push edit, put our link in, and push enter. This code right here, if we click it, we click the link, I'm going to open in a new tab. It actually would take you over to SEMrush with your affiliate link in it. The action actually updated all of our links. Look at this. SEMrush is done. We updated one button, and it seems to have updated all of our SEMrush links. Look at this. They're all SEMrush. I didn't update any of these additional buttons, and it updated all of those buttons for us. I would just double check and make sure, but everything looks really good. It did a great job. SEMrush, transform your strategy. I'm going to click one more time. All you have to do is update the very first link, and it looks like it brilliantly updates all of the buttons on the page. I like that. So far looking really good. The paragraphs are nice, short, and to the point. They're not these giant 8 sentences introductions. They're short and to the point. We already have a call to action. Go and pick it up. We already said that it's amazing. So go pick it up and here's the coupon code right there. Boom. Now, images is going to be an issue, especially for specific things, unless you're saying, hey, top 10 dogs that blank or whatever, right? If it's a generic type thing, it's probably going to do pretty good. It's probably going to do pretty well with food blogs and stuff as well. But when it comes to specific software, see, it can't log into the software and take screenshots. So you're going to have to take some screenshots and replace the images. I don't think it's that big of a deal. At least it gave us image placements where we can go and switch these out. Now, you could do all your editing in here, which might be the best way to do it. And then when we copy and paste our HTML code, it'll just all copy over together. Or you could wait and replace the images later on in your WordPress dashboard. Maybe right here, you want to actually take a screenshot of the SEMrush dashboard. So images, again, not going to be the best depending on what it might do better with the food blog one. Here's that pricing table we told it to get for us. This pricing does look right to me, $139.95 right there. And it did that research for us. It looks really good. And then we have exclusive discount for our readers. So it comes in with another call to action. We said add a few call to actions. So there's 1, there's 2, 3, 4, and 5. So it gave 5 and then 6. It actually did double the amount, 6 call to actions. That might be a little aggressive. I might want to dial that down to probably 4 for a almost 3,000 word article. But we're not going to read everything. Just come back up and see what you get. So look at all these like hover overs kind of segments here. Miniature square, who uses SEMrush, SEO professionals, content marketers, digital marketing, does a great job with that. Some of these images could be, this right here kind of looks very strange. Like there's an extra person here that we can't see. Maybe that person has to be standing way over and you can't see the rest of their body and you just have this person right here. That's just where AI makes mistakes, but they're definitely not using the highest quality of image creation model. So that's something to take into account. So none of the images we can use, but it is following our prompt. This is like a really huge feature for keyword research. It was able to find all the information needed to create a really good overall review, a keyword gap analysis, competitor analysis. We have these links right over here. Again, out the images, competitor analysis, traffic analysis, site health score. You have site audit and technical SEO, rank tracking right there, link building tools, content marketing, and I'm not SEMrush review pros and cons. And so it doesn't mention or really go into local SEO. So we would definitely rewrite this article and say that we need to make a high emphasis on local SEO. Other than that, look at these pros and cons right over here. This is great. The content is a lot more broken up. And if you go and fill this in with actual images, this is a very exceptional structure for a post. And you can tell these could be used for review posts. You could adopt this as your new writing strategy for home pages or for pillar posts that you want to stand out and look really good. You would use this. Now you have your overall rating. So as you use the tool, right? So in this case, I would make sure that in my prompt, I say, here's the rating that I give it, and maybe be very specific on what you give the rating and the overall. It's going to make this nice chart graphic for you. The pros and cons list, the overall rating. Imagine all of your posts to look like this. That would be amazing, right? And then getting started with SEMrush, a quick guide. So then it gives us a quick guide, how to get started right over here. And then we have our real world SEMrush use cases. So SEO agency owner, content marketer. I would go and make improvements, and I would say local SEO people or something like that. And I would want one of those to be taken up by someone right over here and so forth. So, and then SEMrush versus competitors. So Ahrefs and Moz Pro, boom. And you can see right over here, SEMrush is claiming 25 billion keywords versus 16 billion. You could go and research and make sure that that's factual and so forth. Some of these AIs today, they're actually pretty dang accurate. Like I think they're probably about 98% accurate. All images and graphics need to be changed down. And then there's a frequently asked questions. You can choose to put that in there or not. Maybe do away with that last image right there. Who it's best suited for. It kind of repeated, so we probably don't need to put that in there. So remove that, and then ready to transform and then we have our last call to action. So looks really good. We've got a 69 right there. We could spend more time on the SEO, but this looks really, really good. So what I want to do is click the export, and I'm going to export the HTML, right? And I'm going to click on the HTML. So here's the HTML, but I want the HTML code, not just what this looks like. I'm going to log into my site real quick, and I'm going to go into pages, add new page real quick. And what I'm going to do is let's just go. So if we just copy this and we come over here and maybe paste. So it's going to get rid of those nice fancy buttons, right? See, this is what we were talking about. It brings in the tables, everything. It's definitely still doable, but all that nice fancy formatting is gone. I'm going to do a Control-Z. See if that works. And we got rid of all that. So now what we want to do is inspect this, and let's see here. It's not giving us the actual HTML code. We might be able to use this right here. I'm going to go back over here and see if we can download this in Markdown and see if that maybe does it for us. This is just the Markdown format. So I'm going to copy that and see what that looks like in our SEO or in our WordPress site. Then this might be something that so it's still going to be the same thing. So we need that HTML code. They might say, well, if you actually transfer it over and use the SEOwriting.ai WordPress plugin, then maybe that's the way to get it done. One last thing, I'm going to go over to HTML. I'm going to open this up in text edit. See how it's formatted? We're not getting the actual HTML code. The issue is we're not able to get to the HTML code from this. As you can see, there's an issue. They definitely need to solve this. This is not easy for the average user to extract the code. Okay, so I think I figured it out. We inspected the HTML code, and then I went up here and clicked on the full, left click on here, and it highlights this entire thing. So let me see if I can do that again. It should highlight the entire thing. When you have this and you're hovering over it, it's actually gathering all the HTML from the code, from the page. And then I right clicked over here, so it might be easier on Windows. And then I said copy, and I copied the element. Then I went into my site. I went into my website over here, and I added an HTML code. So you just go over here to the plus right over here, and you find a custom HTML code. And then I pasted this. Look, we have all the HTML code. This is what you're looking for, the code itself. And I didn't save this or publish it. I just pushed preview in a new tab, and then this is what it looks like. Obviously, you need to get rid of that right there. But then we have the full-fledged. I would love to have more control over the colors that it's giving us. If we can't control the colors of the buttons, the background shading right over here, if we can't control that in super pages, then I think that's definitely something that needs to be added as a feature. We don't want all these pages on people's websites to look the same, especially if your site is made of red and yellow and completely non-business type of colors. Then it's going to look way out of place and it won't be usable anyways, right? So you kind of have to take it that most people probably won't be wanting this to look exactly like this anyways, because they don't have the option to change the colors and formatting. So long story short, we are on our website. We did get it to paste. There's some weird stuff going on right there. So it's not perfect, but we did get the buttons. If you look in the lower left-hand corner, the link is active on the buttons. It's about 90% there. There's some weird edit, full screen, delete things that I'm not really sure what that's there for or not, but it did do a pretty good job at pasting over. So that might be the only solution right now. We'll move on. That's something they definitely need to improve on if we want it to stay intact. And then the second thing would be the ability to change. I'm just looking to see if there's any functionality that allows us to change the colors and stuff like that. Not really seeing any options to do that. So definitely need to work on that as a feature. We'll go back and quickly look at the next article. So we'll go into the builder, and we have our best barbecue restaurants in Texas. Let's look at what content it gave us. It gave us an almost 1,900 word article, 11 images right there. And that one actually turned it out in green, and a 65 score. So a little bit lower score. You definitely, in this case, are going to have to go like this AI thing right there. You're not going to be able to use this image. Again, you probably could use this image right here because there's no text. It's struggling with text and so forth. So you're going to want to be careful. And then we'll look at this right over here. It's just kind of weird AI images, right? Like this right here, it's a little too much, like there's a fire going on. So yeah, the images, this one's fine, maybe, but that really doesn't look like the way that ribs look. And so you would definitely want to be careful and inspect all of most of these images, to be honest with you, food-wise, are going to be pretty easy to identify as AI. The images are just a no-go. But everything else I'm pretty impressed with. So top 10, Austin has earned its reputation as one of the America's premier barbecue destinations, blah, blah, blah. A little bit long right there, but you're going to want to go through too and style switch barbecue and brew, maybe do a little bit of research, make sure these are actual restaurants and so forth, kind of check them all out. But it is giving the address, it's giving the hours. So it's a very helpful content. Just make sure that this is accurate information. And then there's their website. Worst case scenario, you paste all this content in there, and then maybe if you have a dual monitor, you put what it looks like in here on your dual monitor. In your WordPress website, you spend 10 minutes formatting it to look like this. But in a sense, that kind of defeats the purpose, right? We really need to be able to copy and paste this so it looks really good, just like this. And like I said, I would like to be able to control the colors before we create the content, so then it can come out and you could give it your website's colors. We have Terry Black's barbecue, so it is doing a countdown right over here. Everything looks pretty good. And it's following that format right there. And we have Franklin Barbecue. So it did get it right. I've been to Austin. Franklin, that's definitely not what it looks like. These are not real images, but Franklin Barbecue is definitely number one. I have family that lives in Austin, and that's definitely the crowd favorite. A huge tourist attraction and very, very expensive barbecue. This definitely is the number one. So it did get that right. I would say that the content and the AI behind this is pretty dang good. We have top attractions, plan your barbecue. So you would just adjust this right here, but it did have multiple colors right there. The color option and design option would be nice. It's not doing any call to actions throughout the article. It would have been nice to throw a couple in there, which we did. Do 4 call to actions to check out Austin's best places. It put all 4 call to actions down at the bottom. It's not perfect, but it is pretty cool. It is trying to take AI and create aesthetically appealing content and pillar pages with really good call to actions and buttons and all that stuff. But we're lacking on images. They're basically just placeholders. You have to know that going in. The call to actions were really good on the first one. This one, it didn't perform well. We needed an easier way to get this actual HTML onto our websites. And then 4, we need the ability to change the colors and decide the colors. Overall, pretty cool feature. Let me know what you guys think. I don't really have a rating for it because it's the first of its kind. I don't really see anyone else doing this, so I give them a thumbs up for that. It's not perfect, but definitely usable to mess around with. I think it shines for local SEO, but as you can see, it did a good job with the review as well. You could build a website, create pages, action pages, and just use super page. I think that you actually could do that. So let me know what you guys think. Type super page. If you watch this entire review video, just type super page, and I know that you watched the entire thing. I appreciate you guys. And if you guys want to check it out, I'll try to leave a coupon code. If you are not a subscriber to SEO Writing AI, it's one of my top 5 writing tools for the SEO features and content optimization scores. This is definitely still one of the best that you can get on the market. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you in the next video.